Think about the last time someone's opinion really got under your skin. A casual comment from a coworker, a passive-aggressive remark from a family member, or even a random stranger's judgment online. It stings, doesn't it? It can derail your entire day. You replay the moment over and over, analyzing their tone, their words, wondering what you did wrong. Your confidence plummets. We have all been there. But then, you meet someone who seems completely immune. Criticism just bounces off them. They move through the world with this quiet, unshakable self-assurance. What is their secret? It is not magic. It's not some genetic gift they were born with. It is a skill, a deep internal architecture they have deliberately built, brick by painful brick. It is not that they're arrogant or that they don't listen. It's something much deeper, a psychological fortress. They have cultivated what the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche called the pathos of distance. Pathos, a deep, abiding feeling or emotion, and distance, a profound inner separation. This isn't about physical distance. It's about a psychological chasm between your self-worth and the ever-shifting values of the world around you. Nietzsche wasn't just some dusty academic. He was a cultural physician, diagnosing the sicknesses of the modern soul. And he saw one major illness: our desperate, slavish need for external validation. He argued that there are fundamentally two types of morality, two ways of living. There is the morality of the herd, and the morality of the noble soul. And the difference between them is everything. Imagine a vast, sprawling city. This is the world of herd morality. Everyone is living close together, following the same traffic laws, valuing the same things. Safety, comfort, fitting in. The highest good here is to be useful to the group. In this city, your worth is determined by your neighbors. Did you get the promotion? Is your car nice enough? Do your kids go to the right school? It's a constant, frantic game of comparison and approval. The herd provides a sense of belonging, a sense of security. But the price of admission is steep. You have to surrender your individuality. You must value what the group values or risk being cast out. But then, high above this city, there is a mountain, and on that mountain lives the noble soul. They are not better than the people in the city. They are just different. They operate on a completely different system. From the mountaintop, the noble soul can see the city below. They can see the patterns, the frantic scurrying, the shared anxieties, but they are not a part of it. They have distance. This distance gives them a powerful perspective. They aren't looking down with contempt, but with understanding. They recognize the city's values for what they are. Just one possible way to live, not the only way, and certainly not their way. The noble soul does not look to others to determine what is good or bad. They look inward. They are a creator of values. They say, "This is my good. This is what I hold sacred." And that is the end of the discussion. This is the essence of the pathos of distance. It is the deep, instinctual feeling that you are the source of your own value. Your worth is not a stock to be traded on the market of public opinion. It is a fundamental, inalienable fact of your existence. Now this sounds incredible, doesn't it? Who wouldn't want this kind of inner freedom? But if it is so powerful, why are most of us still stuck down in the city, terrified of what our neighbors think? The answer is buried deep in our evolutionary wiring. For hundreds of thousands of years, being part of the herd wasn't just a preference. It was a survival strategy. To be cast out from the tribe meant certain death. So we developed a hypersensitive social radar. We became experts at reading facial expressions, interpreting tone of voice, and conforming to group norms. Our brains evolved to release feel-good chemicals like oxytocin when we're accepted, and stress hormones like cortisol when we face rejection. That sting of criticism you feel, that is not a character flaw. It's a prehistoric alarm bell screaming danger, social exclusion imminent. Your brain is trying to protect you, using an ancient software that is no longer suited for the modern world. So how do we overcome millions of years of evolution? How do we build this pathos of distance from scratch? Nietzsche gives us a blueprint. It is not easy, but it is possible. It begins with a process he called the revaluation of all values. Step 1 is to become a demolition expert of your own mind. You have to take a philosophical sledgehammer to the foundations of your belief system. You must question every single value you hold dear, not to destroy them, but to test their integrity. Ask yourself the hard questions. Why do I believe that being wealthy is a sign of success? Is it truly my belief, or is it something I absorbed from society, my parents, from advertising? Who benefits from me believing this? Why do I feel the need to be busy all the time? Is it because I love what I do, or because I fear the judgment of being seen as unproductive or lazy? Do I truly value hustle, or do I just fear stillness? This process is deeply uncomfortable. It feels like taking apart the very engine of your identity while you are still using it. You will find that many of your most cherished beliefs are not your own. They are secondhand values, inherited without question. But this is the essential first step. You cannot build your fortress on a foundation of sand. You must clear the ground, get down to the bedrock of your own being, and see what is truly there. Once you've cleared the rubble of inherited values, you are left with a terrifying, exhilarating emptiness. This is where step 2 begins. You must become your own lawgiver. This is the great creative act. From the bedrock of your authentic self, you begin to build. You decide what your virtues are. Maybe for you, the highest good isn't wealth or status. Maybe it is creativity, or courage, or profound connection. You write your own commandments, not on stone tablets, but in the choices you make every single day. You declare, "This is what matters to me. This is the code I will live by, regardless of what anyone else thinks." Living by your own law means you are no longer playing by the herd's rules. You are playing a different game entirely, your own. When someone judges you for not climbing the corporate ladder, it doesn't sting, because that is not the game you're playing. Their judgment becomes irrelevant. It is like a soccer fan yelling at a basketball player for not using his feet. It makes no sense. They do not even understand the rules of your game, so how could their opinion possibly matter? This creates an incredible sense of integrity. Your inner world and your outer actions begin to align perfectly. There is no gap between who you are and how you live. This is the source of that quiet, unshakable confidence we admire in others. But how do you find the quiet space to even hear yourself think, to forge these new values? This leads us to the crucial third step, embracing solitude to cultivate perspective. You cannot gain distance if you are constantly immersed in the crowd. The noise of the city is deafening. To hear your own voice, you must be willing to walk away. You must be willing to climb the mountain. For Nietzsche, solitude was not loneliness. Loneliness is the pain of being alone. Solitude is the glory of being alone. It is a tool, a workshop where you can craft your soul without interruption. In solitude, you disconnect from the endless stream of opinions, expectations, and social pressures. The constant static fades away, and in the silence, your own inner voice, which has been whispering all along, can finally be heard. This is where the distance, in Pathos of Distance, is truly born. By periodically removing yourself from the herd, you gain the perspective to see it for what it is. You see the trends, the fads, the collective anxieties, and you realize how little of it has to do with you. You start to see the opinions of others not as objective truths, but as reflections of their own values, their own fears, and their own place within the city. You develop a kind of psychological empathy that is also a shield. Now, it's very important to address a common misconception here. The pathos of distance does not turn you into an arrogant, aloof elitist. In fact, that is its complete opposite. Arrogance is a performance. It is a desperate attempt to convince others and yourself of your own superiority. It is deeply rooted in insecurity and the need for validation. It is the loudest person in the city shouting, "Look at me." The pathos of distance is a quiet, internal state. It does not need to announce itself. It does not need to put others down to feel tall. It's the difference between a man who must constantly tell everyone he is king and a man who simply is the king. His authority radiates from within, not from the desperate clamor for approval. True self-worth is silent. It is calm. It is a deep, resonant hum beneath the surface of your being. It is a strength that allows you to be generous, to listen to criticism without being shattered by it, and to engage with the world on your own terms. So this is the path. It is a journey of deconstruction, creation, and separation. You take a hammer to your inherited beliefs. You forge your own laws in the fires of self-reflection, and you climb the mountain of solitude to gain untouchable perspective. This is not an overnight fix. It is the work of a lifetime. It is a constant practice of choosing your own values over the values of the crowd. Every single day you will be tempted to come back down the mountain and seek the warmth and safety of the city. But with each conscious choice to trust yourself, to honor your own code, the fortress of your self-worth gets stronger. The psychological distance grows. The noise of the world becomes fainter. The opinions of others lose their power to wound you. They are no longer arrows piercing your heart, but merely ripples on the surface of a deep, calm ocean. And so the next time someone's opinion tries to get under your skin, you will recognize the feeling, but you will not be its prisoner. You will finally understand the profound, unshakable peace that comes from the pathos of distance.